Hi there, this is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot, and we are discussing crystals and grounding and the need to ground from time to time. And I thought this was an important segment because, especially for probably the folks who are watching this particular video, probably many of you are light workers, many of you, are off, in your head or off in your spiritual space and kind of literally feeling elevated and not grounded. Now, there's, of course, pluses to being in meditation and being in a heightened sense of awareness and being off into the other, the ethereal world, if you will. There is definitely some pluses to that. However, there comes a time when it's time to ground into your physical body, ground into your physical experience, because your body, your physical body, thrives off of you being present, off of you being in the now, it needs you to be as grounded as you can be. So what helps with that is definitely crystals. There are many crystals that have the vibrational energy that is perfect for using when you need to be grounded. When I am doing tarot readings back to back, or even not just back to back, when I'm doing tarot readings for others, I feel like I am literally going out of my body sometimes, out of my headspace. I can't even explain it. It's not like, oh, I'm going off to like La La Land. It's not that. It's not quite that. It's like I'm like in a channeled state, in a meditative state at times. And I'm just, whatever is coming to my headspace is coming off my lips and out to everyone who's listening. So when that's happening, when I am speaking to spirit and when we're in that constant relationship, and my body then needs me to ground and come back here to the physical, because I start to feel a little off, a little like not right, a little anxiety filled, at times a little nauseous, if I'm not physically grounding myself from time to time. And I use grounding meditations along with grounding stones. So I did, of course, have come up with some notes, some points, and I'm going to show you some examples of grounding stones that I have in my little collection for myself. The definition of grounding is creating a sound connection between oneself and planet Earth that allows excess and out of balance energies to flow from the body. It's also about anchoring energies in the earth. And we ground when we do spirit work or often when we meditate. And that's what I was speaking to you before. At least those are the reasons why I tend to need to ground. Let's see. So let's just dive into my collection, shall we? The first stone, and I should also say grounding, any stones, particularly grounding stones, are also dual or sometimes have multiple purposes, and it's not just for grounding. So you may have seen some of the stones that I've mentioned tonight or this evening in other videos, like the protective stones or the stones used for psychic abilities. That's because they have those vibrational influences and energies about this particular stone. It has multiple. It's not just one thing. Some stones have one or two things that it's strong at, and then others have multiple things that they are gifts for. All right. So the first one that I have is the smoky quartz. I have two here that I'll show you. We have this smoky quartz. This is one of my favorite pieces. Let's try to make sure it focuses. It's not trying to focus. Let's find the other one. Here's my other smoky quartz. See how smoky it is? Let's talk a little bit about smoky quartz. It is grounding and anchoring. At the same time, it raises vibrations during meditation. That's awesome, and it is a great stone for meditation. It is an antidote to stress. It fortifies resolve. It gently neutralizes negative energies, and it detoxes negative emanations, such as like off of televisions or computers. It teaches you how to leave behind what no longer serves you. So that, and I have to literally, when I cleanse and clear this particular stone, particularly because I use this one a lot more. This one stays on my table. This is one that's great for staying on my table, but this is one that travels with me. It's in my hand all the time when I'm doing readings or when I'm meditating. So I cleanse it often. If I can't cleanse it often, I set it on my selenite plate like that, so it can cleanse and charge that way. Otherwise, I use some Palo Santo or sage. And I noticed that this murkiness that it has going on starts to clear up. It literally starts to clear up a little bit. And I have to cleanse it often because I use it often. All right. Next up, we have hematite. Hematite. Here's my hematite. It's kind of shiny. And hematite is a great grounding stone. It harmonizes mind, body, and spirit. Used during out-of-body journeying, it protects the soul and grounds it while you're outer body journeying. And it also helps to ground your spirit back into your body when it's time to do so when you are journeying. Has a yang element and balances. Let's see, I can't even understand my notes. It stimulates concentration and focus. It enhances memory and original thought, which is awesome. And it grounds, detoxifies your vibrations. And there have been times when I really need to ground, and I go straight to hematite. It is one of the most grounding stones. I'm feeling even grounded now, like literally like a line that's just kind of pulling down inside of me, pulling down, and I feel grounded using this stone. Love it. Sorry, I couldn't understand my handwriting. I had to skip that little part of the note. So bad. Okay, so next up is amber, my next grounding stone. Now, amber is interesting because it's not, see, look at that, it's kind of translucent. This is not a stone per se or a crystal, but rather it's fossilized like tree sap from like a gazillion years. And it's really cool. It actually, it's like, I mean, here's some, here's another fossil amylite. And so it's not quite stone, but it still definitely has healing and grounding properties. And of course, it's from like a near and dear tree that I feel like I have a spirit connection to. So let's talk a little bit about amber here. It has strong connections with the earth and is a grounding stone for higher energies. I like to keep the amber nearby me and on my altar at times. And I like to touch on it often. It's kind of softer, kind of smooth, if you will. Like what you would imagine fossilized, not wax, but sap to be like. Never, it wasn't until recent years that I realized what amber was. Which I found interesting. And then we have black tourmaline. Very grounding. Very, very grounding. Let's talk a little bit about my black tourmaline. It grounds energy and increases vitality. It disperses tension and stress. It really is doing that, right? It promotes, and I'll tell you why in a moment, promotes laid-back attitude, definitely need that in my life. And it encourages a positive attitude. And, okay, so a couple of things about this. Just holding it. Okay, I'm holding up my arms. I need to do more arm exercises because I'm kind of a little weak in my arms. And the other stones, I was kind of struggling to kind of keep it up to show you guys it for the camera. I hold this up. It feels like I could hold up my arm all day. Literally. Don't understand that. Could be all in my head. The other thing is, there was some workplace drama going on like a couple of years ago and recently, and I brought those affected some hematite, and let me tell you, the negative attitudes that were going on, whether they were right or wrong, these people who were involved, it started to dissipate. And it was, I want to say, attributed to my lovely black tourmaline. I kept saying hematite, but it was black tourmaline. I used the hematite for myself. I carry it from time to time when I need it, and when I know I'm going to need it in a grounding situation. I keep it near me for like while I'm doing a reading, and then certainly hold on to it afterwards. But black tourmaline is sometimes my gift to my friends or to people I feel really need it, because it's almost like instant relief. It really is a powerful stone to have in your arsenal. It's black tourmaline and hematite, but particularly black tourmaline. Okay. Green fluorite. I have a beautiful tower of green purpley fluorite, but it's upstairs and I'm not going to run up and get it. I'm going to show you my rough piece of fluorite, green fluorite. And I got to tell you something about this. Okay, so this is it. This is my rough piece of green fluorite. I love it. It's like the ocean. Like, it reminds me of the ocean. It's gorgeous. I get so much vibrational energy. I can feel it in my gut when I'm holding this. I feel it in my gut. This thing is so powerful, though, that I tried to have it in my bedroom and not even near my bed. Like, it was across the room. And I was having weird dreams. I don't normally remember my dreams. And I don't normally have bad dreams or nightmares. But this was giving me some weird, funky, far out dreams, not appreciating it. So when my son wanted it to go into his room, I was fine with it. He takes it to his room. He keeps it for several months. Then he finally brings it back to me. He gives it to me. He says, you know, this is a very powerful stone. I was, you know, manifesting some powerful things, but whoa, my dreams, I'm kind of tired of it. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I felt kind of bad, but I was kind of happy to be rid of it in terms of that. It's very powerful, so I keep it on my reading table, which is, we found, where it belongs. So it can help everyone powerfully manifest through the camera. So let's talk a little bit. I actually have quite a few notes. I think two cards for this one. Okay, so it grounds, grounding excess energy, dissipates emotional, what is it? Emotional, oh my gosh. I don't know. Trauma, oh my gosh. Dissipates emotional trauma, clears infections, and absorbs negative energy within the environment. Warning. I put my little warning here. It brings into and up from the subconscious mind and access to intuition, which is a blessing and a curse, as we know. There were things coming up in my dreams I was just not prepared to deal with. I'm going to be honest with you. It was very uncomfortable dreams. And I normally am someone who can take shadow and deal with it. And I want to deal with it because clearly I sometimes manifest certain things that are like tower moments in my life, or yeah, some topsy-turvy stuff. So I want to deal with my shadow stuff, but some of the stuff that comes up is like, whoa. That's why it's so powerful for me as a reader on my reading table versus in my bedroom at nighttime. It is auric, and it for, you know, it's the auric chakra, and it's a great mental cleanser, and it's perfect, like I wrote here on my note, perfect for my altar and reading table, because it can, one side effect, and I found this in a book and it turned out as true, is it will give you wild dreams. And then let's see, and clears infections. I think I mentioned that before, and it does. Yes, sure thing. Thank you. Yes, please. I'm recording.
I'm over here researching, man. We ain't going to Cali, man. We're going to Santo Domingo, man.
Anyways, I'm recording. Oh. Okay, so next up is bloodstone. I have a little bit of bloodstone right here. Today's our anniversary, by the way. So I'm trying to be a little nice. Normally I'd be like, babe, I'm recording right now. But I'm going to be nice, because after this records, then I'm going to see what's up with him. So we have bloodstone. And it's excellent. It's an excellent grounding stone. It's a blood cleanser and healer. It grounds the heart energy, and it brings spirituality into your everyday life. And when I've been dabbling with, like I've mentioned in prior videos, with crystal energies for a long time, but one of the stones that I went to, now it's 2013, that's 5 years ago, when I had my blood clot to the lung or my pulmonary embolism, I would carry this and keep this close to me. And it really, I felt like helped heal my blood and heal the situation of it clotting. And again, could be just a mind thing, but it worked for me. And I have not, I mean, I am on blood thinners, but I have not had a blood clot since. There are people who are on blood thinners and still from time to time experience clots. I've been very fortunate. It has not happened again. So yay. And yeah, this is a grounding stone also. But I wanted to speak to you about the healing properties of it as well. So it's like one of those 2 for, 3 for kind of things. Thank you. Thank you so much. Santo Domingo. Grounding. So we have the next stone, tiger's eye. And I have 2 pieces to show you of tiger's eye. And then this piece. Same thing. There's different kinds of tiger's eye. That's more like blue, or different kinds, or cat's eye. But this is tiger's eye. And it grounds and facilitates manifestation of the will. Tiger. Okay, so next up, let's go to obsidian. So I don't have my, oh, actually I do. I do have a little bit of obsidian here. Here's a little piece right there. And I have gold sheen obsidian, which is not actually the same thing as black obsidian or even obsidian. There's black obsidian, and then gold sheen obsidian, where you can kind of see the gold here, which almost looks silver. But what's wonderful about obsidian is that it anchors the spirit to the body. It grounds the soul and spiritual forces into the physical plane. It brings your spiritual and your soul and your physical plane under the direction of the conscious will, and makes it possible to manifest spiritual energies on earth. And then the gold sheen obsidian specifically eliminates any sense of futility of conflict. So it's good to have on hand when you are in conflict with someone and you need to ground that situation. People are kind of up in the air and angry, and not really grounded back down to the earthly, energies that really will help to bring some resolution. this stone helps with that. Okay. Next up is malachite. Here's I have a couple of pieces, but this is my favorite piece of malachite. Actually, I have quite a few pieces of malachite. Some that will be going into my online store at abundantlifetarot.com or in my Etsy store, Abundant Life Shop. And with malachite, it grounds spiritual energies onto the planet. So again, it has a host of healing properties, and I think we've discussed it before. And I won't go into all the healing properties, but it also is a great grounding stone as well. I mean, I'm feeling all kinds of good holding it. All kinds of good. And then we have chrysanthemum stone, which is just like it sounds, just like the flower. It has this, it almost looks, I mean, it seems like it's painted on. But if you ever come across this stone, you will see that many of them have this on there. And that's why it's called chrysanthemum stone. And this is also a grounding stone. It exudes calm confidence and radiates harmony. Being centered in the present moment is a strength of this stone. It guards against distractions and brings stability and trust, eliminating resentment and animosity. It's a powerful little stone, this one. You could tell by the color that it's super grounding, super helpful in terms of that. And then last but not least is black kyanite. You can tell it's kyanite by how it goes up like this. You see it, like the directions of the little striations on here. And there's a lot I wrote on this one. It grounds the body when aligning the chakras and during and after meditation. It assists in fully incarnating into earth, life and movement back into and between life states to access knowledge of the current life plan and into other lives when necessary. Black kyanite has been used to access potential, well, I guess future lives, to view the results of multiple choices made in the present so that the most constructive future can be created. I have not tried to use it for that, but in my research, that is what it indicated. So there you go for some of you who want to explore traveling the different planes and dimensions. All right, you guys, so that's that for grounding stones. Let me know how you ground. What do you use to ground your energies? What do you use in terms of stones, or maybe you have some other grounding mechanisms or modalities that you use to ground? I want to hear about it. Definitely drop me a message in the comments box, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. Much love, many blessings. I apologize for the interruptions, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.